Hey, good people. Josh, welcome to my home, to my window seat, and to the very first vlog of Sundays. I have no idea how this is going to go, so as always, we're on this journey together. There is a TikTok trend that's going on right now, and it goes, if 11-year-old me could see the husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend that I have now, how impressed they would be. It goes something like that. And I'm recently divorced, single as a Pringle, so that really didn't land with me until last night, and in a different way than you may expect. So we're out last night, and all weekend I've had this like swell of confidence. It's just been like I felt invincible, which is very unusual for me. I usually keep to myself, don't talk to people I don't know too much. And so we're going out and celebrating a friend who had something really cool happen in her life. We ended up going somewhere where there was dancing and music, and it was a really good time. We were, me and this friend were enjoying just kind of doing our own thing, because I'll dance when I want to. She pretty much dances the entire time, and we know that and respect that about one another. But while we were at this place, I ran into an old school friend. And I'm talking like old school friend. And actually, friend really isn't a fair word for it. I had a huge crush on this girl in middle school. Like, first day of 6th grade, in middle school, she walks into the classroom, and I thought she was the most beautiful person that I had ever seen. She's still an incredibly beautiful person, and has also been a super kind person since I've known her. So anyway, we strike up a conversation. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in a million years. Doing that whole catch up thing. She was with a friend, and the conversation was good, and I was confident. I was handling myself in a confident way, and she ends up sharing something, kind of personal that has happened in her life recently that was really crappy. We also kind of start talking, or her and her friend start like complimenting me. So like, you're very attractive, blah, 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 blah. And those kind of things kind of make me uncomfortable. Like, I don't know how to handle that at all. But the conversation continues. We end up talking a few more times, and then, we close the night out. We all go our separate ways. On the way home, I was just kind of reflecting on that experience and identifying what parts were coming up for me during that experience, because that's something we work on in therapy, like what shows up when certain things happen, what parts of you get triggered. And a few of the things that came up for me were like, I'm really bad at compliments about my appearance or my personality. Like, I don't know how to process that. But I started thinking about like the history that I had with this person, and how it goes all the way back to that 11-year-old Josh. And I started thinking about how my feeling, like how I felt about myself this weekend, was so positive, and how I saw how that positivity and how conducting myself with confidence really changed a lot of the interactions that I had this weekend. And I just like, I had the thought, if only 11-year-old Josh could see how 31-year-old Josh just walked out and owned it. Walked out, wore clothes that made him feel attractive and powerful, and went out to do something that was fun for him, and it wasn't necessarily for anybody else, and it was just strictly like Josh living Josh's life on Josh's terms. And how cool would it be if that 11-year-old Josh could see that, but also specifically see him talking to this crush that was definitely like the object of his affections, and handling it in a way that he never could have. Like, 11-year-old Josh could have never had that experience that I had, and there's something to be said for just getting older and growing. But I thought, how cool would that be? because part of what we have been working on at therapy is actually talking to 11-year-old Josh, actually asking 11-year-old Josh what he needs, what he wants me to know, what things that we can do to help him heal from the traumas and the experiences that happened. And I think that was kind of a big one, because 11-year-old Josh was like so unlucky in love. It was almost tragic how bad at that whole like romance and dating and all that he was. And that was, that was very difficult, as it is for a lot of people, for his confidence and his self-worth. And so I did spend some time last night just kind of talking to 11-year-old Josh and saying, like, look what happened. I mean, it didn't result in a relationship, but it definitely, like, you didn't make a complete fool of yourself like you're always scared that you're going to. And you were a normal, friendly, attractive person, and these people fed off of that energy. This girl fed off of that energy. So I just thought that was really, really cool. Since this is the first video, you might not be aware, but I'm a big Spotify person. Discovery Weekly is my jam. I love discovering new music, and music really speaks to me. And in each of these videos, I really want to share just kind of like a week's anthem, something that's really hit me this week. So yesterday I discovered this song on TikTok and then through Spotify called Stick Season. And forgive me because I forgot the artist's name, but it is in the playlist that's on the homepage of the website, so go check that out. It's called Stick Season. Specifically, one of the lyrics that hit home with me is when he said, "It's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim." And he was talking about like a failed relationship, right? Just kind of saying, I acknowledge that it's half my fault, but when I'm out there in the world, kind of take that martyr stance. And I call myself a very self-aware person, but I am 150% guilty of modifying a narrative when I'm talking to other people to not exactly highlight my own deficiencies. So it's a really good bop. It's moody, but it's got a good beat, and it's kind of catchy. So go check that out. And if I could give you any kind of prompt for this week, a prompt for myself is going to be spend some more time with 11-year-old Josh, because I think he's really showing up for me recently, and he's got some things that I need to hear, and I think I have some things that he needs to hear. So hopefully this next week I'll get to spend some more time with 11-year-old Josh. But thanks for being here today. I really appreciate you starting this journey with me, and I hope it's a prosperous one for both of us. All right, bye.